Here, going live. Oh, I'm live. Look at that. What's up, everyone? Please excuse the pitiful background. I'm working on some soundproofing. I haven't quite gotten it all up, but I know I've time been waiting too long to do anything stream-wise. Can't really get an audience if you're not consistent at all, right? Right. So I figured I would come on today is New Book Wednesday for those Wednesday warriors out there, the comic fans who picking up, all your weekly comics. Now we finally have a structure, a semblance of normal in terms of comic books coming back, both Marvel and DC. That's exciting. It's been a while. I've enjoyed the layoff. Aside from the hair growing out, just a chance to be able to reread some classics. Been getting a lot of comicsology, been getting a lot of DC Universe, been getting a lot of Marvel Unlimited, reading some back issues, sorting my collection, and kind of building on that. It hasn't been the worst thing in the world for me to be home and not doing it, but in general, this is good to have new books. So I figured what I would do is come on and share some of the stuff I picked up today. I'm not going to do the new books one. I'm already on a show that does that. It's called The Spinner Rack. Make sure you check that out. We do that every Sunday at 3. It's a great little production from a couple of friends of mine. We get down, break the books of the week, also do buy and sell for next week and picks of the week, all that good stuff. It's very current comic centric, and I don't want to tread on those toes and do similar content then and cannibalize my own content. So I will not be covering new stuff, which sucks. But I picked up a bunch of things today anyway, so I figured I would just talk about stuff that I picked up. That isn't new because I'm cool like that. Yeah. So I went to first of all, we have a chain of it's called Zia Records. Not sure if anyone's familiar with that, but basically they specialize in records, but they have DVDs, books, kind of a jack of all trades. Comics. I picked up this trade, a new Goblin, and this was really the first really run Spider-Man 176 to 180 of Bart Hamilton. If you remember that short run, Barton Hamilton was the third Green Goblin after Norman Osborn, after Harry Osborn. He was Harry's psychiatrist who ended up, basically taking Harry's secrets for his own and becoming a new Goblin who had no powers but was somehow reputable enough and enough of a threat to get 4 stories out of him before his untimely demise in Spider-Man 180. So that was cool. I had originally picked this up at the original comic book store and it was like $150 and I was like, for this? No, I'm not doing it. So I put it back. And then I run into it this record store for $7 and I couldn't pass that up. So I had to grab that. Second thing I picked up because why not? And I'll be talking about this in more detail, but this is a classic. Batman the Dark Knight Returns, for one, is amazing. And then two, the great team up here, Kingdom Come. You have Mark Waid, you have Alex Ross. You cannot go wrong with those two. In the future, I'm going to break those down because one, it helps me out to have different shows. Why would I do one show with both of them when I can give each one the gravitas that it deserves? So I plan on it. But these are classics of the genre. I mean, I think comic books are the first two that come to mind. And also, I'm probably a little neurotic with that. But if I see a Kingdom Come, a different cover, or if I see a Frank Miller Batman Dark Knight Returns, a different cover, I'm grabbing it. It doesn't really matter why. It's just something I'm getting. I have a collection of maybe like 4 a piece right now. Each, the 15th anniversary, the enhanced edition with the extra work by Alex Ross. I don't care. I'm picking it up. So that's me. And then I picked up my weekly comics because, we're going to be talking about those. So for me, it was Avengers. This is my first time kind of going back into that one. But when you have Moon Knight on the cover, you kind of have to check it out. Justice League, number 45, which is pretty solid. And then, of course, I've been loving the work by Dan Jurgens and Sean Chen on Batman Beyond. I've enjoyed basically every storyline. I'm very excited now that Terry McGinnis is back on the scene and basically what that means, although it was really nice to have Batwoman for a while and trying to figure out the mystery there. I thought I almost had it. I was wrong, but it was interesting. And getting to the bottom of that, the Return of Blight, coming back to my childhood, you couldn't go wrong with that. So I've really enjoyed the work by Dan Jurgens. He's made Batman Beyond fun for me to read, and there's been some good comics, Rebirth, and some good storylines with Terry McGinnis, but I've enjoyed this one immensely. This has been my favorite. Okay, another thing I picked up. Again, not current, but this little trade, this paperback, The Punisher versus the Marvel Universe. And this one is a collection of all the Punisher face-offs against the Marvel Universe. So it starts off with the one from, and there's a classic one by Garth Ennis, where it was Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, and he basically goes through all of them. That's a fun one. You also have Amazing Spider-Man 161, 162. You have Heroes for Hire, and there's number 9. You have Punisher numbers 33 and 37, Punisher Warzone 1 through 5, and then Marvel Universe vs. the Punisher, the complete run of that. I saw this trade. I've been looking at this for a while, but I figured, listen, if I have a chance to grab all of them, why not? And I think some of the best Punisher work is these, I guess, Elseworlds tales where he has to clash with the Marvel Universe, and how is one guy who is so obsessed with vengeance and righting wrongs of crimes past going to do with the greatest of the Marvel Universe. It's always been fun for me. All right, then I went to a different comic store, and I'm going to grab this box over here because, boom. And I grabbed some books there because I was on a hunt today. It's been a day for me, a long one, and I went to 2 different comic stores just because I was missing it like that. And it was on the run for back issues and trades and just stuff that I guess could have gotten, but haven't been able to do with everything being closed. So, for one, this is one of my favorites, Batman 525. Nothing special about this book. Seriously, I mean, it's a very solid book. Doug Minch writing, Kelly Jones, great collaboration. I'll talk about those 2 more in the future. They are the creative team to some of my favorite Batman works, not because of any standout stories, although they do have some, but really just because of the writing and illustration team and just how visual and dark and in the spirit of Batman I feel these books are. This one, I love the cover, for one. It's Mr. Freeze, one of my top Batman villains, if not number 1. And this cover is just so cool to me. I'm covering Batman's face, but boom. I like it. And in this one, brief synopsis, Mr. Freeze has plans to basically tell seniors, listen, you're getting old, you could die, but I could freeze you, and then, we could basically microwave you, reheat you later in the future, and you've extended your life by several years. And why wouldn't you want to, extend your life for several years in a whole new world with new technology where you could still be able to live and benefit from that? In actuality, Mr. Freeze has no plans to do that. When he freezes them, they're going to die, and at that point, they'll already have signed over all their assets and information to him in order for him to be the safeguard for these seniors. Now, mind you, these seniors aren't stupid, so they're throughout the book going, why would we do that? That makes 0 sense, yada, yada. And then Mr. Freeze is like, you know what? Why'd I even try to cook up this harebrained scheme? I could just freeze y'all and take y'all money. And so he starts doing that. Batman gets in the mix. Just a run-of-the-mill Batman story, but I love Batman 525. It's one of my favorites. And then I was talking about the new Goblin trade paperback I picked up earlier. This is Amazing Spider-Man 176, the first appearance of the Barton Hamilton Green Goblin. He hasn't yet been revealed as him, but this is him in this one. And again, another book I could not pass up. It was just something. These books are like $4 or $5, so had to grab it. Went to the half price trade paperback bin because I'm a comic. I don't want to say a word disparagingly. I will just pick up anything. That's me. Death of Superman. I wouldn't have to say anything about that. It is what it is. One of my personal favorites, another book that if I see it, I'm buying it. Doesn't really matter the context or how many copies I have. Spawn, Batman, 1994. I love this book, not because of the story. It's pretty simple. You're run-of-the-mill, one hero, or whatever you want to think of Spawn, meeting up. They don't like each other for whatever reason. They have a fight. Then they both ally together against a common enemy. And that's what the Spawn Batman book is. Run-of-the-mill, basic that. The villain is Dr. Margaret Love. Not even a big deal. Some plot to destroy the world, which isn't even fully fleshed out. It's not a great book story-wise, but Todd McFarlane is in his wheelhouse illustrating this book. Capes is his thing. Everyone knows that. I love the way that he does Batman. It's not even so much a focus on how Batman looks underneath the cowl. It's a lot of dark shadows and just capes, silhouettes. It's really, really striking. I love the colors and I love the cover. So I always pick up that book whenever I see it, and this was no exception there. And then this was a real gem for me. I was excited. I love these. I kind of grew up on these, but if anyone remembers the Essential Marvel lines, basically a bunch of runs of comics from different creative properties for Marvel, and it stretched for several years, all black and white, all newsprint, but it was a great way to read comics cheaply and go through a whole bunch. And this was, I couldn't afford anything else growing up. This is what I was raised off of. And I was able to find a bunch of these. So I had Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man #1, I had Amazing Spider-Man. I picked up #5, picked up number 7. I picked up everything they had. So number 6 is good, especially for this is the first time that I read The Death of Gwen Stacy, which even now is moving and just chilling and just brilliant. And then Amazing Spider-Man number 8, or not Amazing Spider-Man number 8, Essential Marvel line, Amazing Spider-Man number 8. This is him covering more battles with like Jigsaw, Big Wheel, Will-O-the-Wisp, Rocket Racer. You remember him? That guy's fun. He teamed up with Nova. He teamed up with the Human Torch and the Punisher. Fun stuff there. And then again, I saw it. I have to get it. Dark Knight Returns, because I had disposable income for once, and why not spend it on a classic book and support my LCS, even though I have several copies of it. So boom. Yeah, that's what I picked up today. That was a little bit of a bunch there. I have them both stacked up on equal sides of the table right now. But I also thought I would use this opportunity to talk about what my future content plan is, because I've not been consistent and I want to get there. The first thing is on Wednesdays, I'm always going to come up, whether it's talking about the news, which is what I think it probably will be. I'll come on and do that. Break down whatever I picked up that isn't new comic related, because again, Spinner Rack is a show that we do. You can follow it. I'll link it in the description when I'm done, so you can check that out. But every Sundays at 3:30, we run through all of the new books that came out this past week, rate them, and then preview the next week. So I would definitely have that available for you all. But Wednesday is always going to be comic news, stuff like Ruby Rose quitting Batman, which I have a great defense for. But I'm going to save it because I don't think people are ready for it just yet. So I'm going to hold on to that. But I would talk about stuff like that. It's comic book related properties. Therefore, the comic book barbarian can address it. And that's what I would do. So that's something that I'll be addressed in a future episode. It's not news at that point. It'll just be a topic for me, but you get what I'm trying to say. Basically, any comic news, the Snyder Cut would count. Anything comic book related. What happened to 5G? Where is 5G? Are we going to 4G? What's up with that? What's DC doing? That's something that's going to be addressed. That's what I'm going to plan on doing every Wednesday. I want to say around 6 o'clock Arizona time. So Pacific time, just make sure to check that out if you can. And then over the weekend, I'm going to put out a show, probably Sunday mornings, where I'm either going to run through what I wanted to do originally on the show, which is either break down the history of a team on a run. I'm going to start with Doug Munch and Kelly Jones on Batman, just highlight some of their work, how they came together, their collaboration on Batman. That's something I would do. Or a watch along, because why not? Maybe link up to a movie or something on DC Universe or Disney Plus that's Marvel related. Boom, we do that. We talk about that, do some comic commentary. That's what I want to do more of on the show. So I'm going to make sure that Wednesdays and Sunday mornings, Wednesday afternoons at 6, Sunday mornings, TBD, because I will say, oh yeah, let's do it at 9, and then I'm asleep. So I don't want to be doing that. But I'm going to make a more consistent schedule here. To the person who's watching right now, thank you. But in general, I want to make sure that I'm coming out with content that is interesting and engaging. And I will be growing out not only my tech and the background and trying to up the ante here, but also giving more content to people who want to listen to it about comics, because it's all I can do and I talk about it all the time anyway. So might as well say it here. Anyway, this is really all I got for now. I really just wanted to get up and get something on. So thank you all for listening or tuning in. If you whether do it right now, whether you do it down the line, whether I come back and look at myself, I don't do that. But whatever. Definitely make sure to give you guys and gals a thank you for that. And take care, and hopefully I will see y'all this weekend. All right, y'all.